Number 10. Fatty Arbuckle. Obscenely rich and famous at the height of silent film, Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle's career collapsed like a house of cards after he was embroiled in a shocking 1921 scandal. Arbuckle was accused of manslaughter following the death of actress Virginia Rapp during one of his notorious hotel parties. Despite being acquitted, the salacious rumors engraved his name in infamy, branding him as Hollywood's darkest villain of the silent era. In the 3 trials he faced, whispers of corruption arose. Speculation suggested that Arbuckle's legal team exerted undue influence, swaying the favorable jury outcome in his 3rd trial. Some even alleged improper ties to the Prohibition-era underworld, citing bribes to silence witnesses or manipulate evidence. While unproven, these claims amplified public outrage, painting Arbuckle as both a beneficiary and a scapegoat of systemic rot. Arbuckle's reputation never recovered. Studios banned him, his films disappeared from theaters, and though gossip of judicial corruption faded over time, his tragic career nosedive remains one of Hollywood's earliest cautionary tales. Before jumping into the next story, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss on fascinating history and story of iconic celebrities. 9. Wallace Reed. Known as the King of Paramount in the 1910s, Wallace Reed's on-screen charm masked a tragic story of addiction and industry exploitation. After being injured in a train accident during a film shoot, Reed's studio allegedly pressured him to continue working, fueling his dependency on morphine to manage the pain. His eventual death at 31 revealed the dark underbelly of Hollywood's relentless demand for productivity. Reed's widow, Dorothy Davenport, later claimed industry executives enabled his addiction to protect their investments in his successful career, with some even suspected of covering up the extent of his substance abuse. Whispered allegations hinted at systematic corruption, where doctors were incentivized to supply narcotics, ensuring Reed remained on set despite his deteriorating health. Though Reed's untimely demise sparked initial outrage, the blame largely shifted to Hollywood's grueling studio system, overshadowing any accountability for complicity. His tragic fall and the rumors of systemic exploitation became one of early Hollywood's most cautionary tales about the price of celebrity and the human cost of stardom. 8. Charlie Chaplin. While The Little Tramp brought laughs to the world, Chaplin wielded a darker reputation behind the camera. He was known for relationships with underage girls, including marrying 16-year-old Lita Gray while he was in his mid-30s. Chaplin's predatory behavior and the resulting paternity lawsuits painted a sordid picture of the man behind the genius. Chaplin's scandalous personal life first came under scrutiny with his marriage to 16-year-old Mildred Harris in 1918. This set a troubling precedent, as he later married another 16-year-old, Lita Gray, under pressure to avoid statutory rape charges after she became pregnant. Their divorce proceedings exploded into the public sphere, with Gray detailing volatile, controlling behavior. Later, a paternity lawsuit filed by Joan Barry further tarnished his reputation, revealing darker aspects of his character, despite blood tests proving he wasn't the father. Though Chaplin's pioneering contributions to cinema remain unparalleled, his personal indiscretions and politically controversial views served as a double-edged sword, ultimately leading to his exile from the U.S. that he would never fully overcome. 7. Clara Bow. Clara Bow's vivacious screen presence brought her fame in the 1920s, but her personal life was riddled with explosive scandals. Accusations of wild parties, promiscuity, and an entanglement with a secretary who attempted to blackmail her left an impact on how Hollywood and society stigmatized women who owned their desires in a deeply misogynistic era. Portrayed as a carefree spirit during the Roaring Twenties, Bow's rebellious attitude made her both a sensation and a scandal magnet. Her secretary, Daisy DeVoe, attempted to extort her by threatening to release lurid details about her life, leading to a highly publicized court case. Though Bow won the lawsuit, the salacious accusations of promiscuity and hedonistic Hollywood parties sullied her reputation. Society's double standards amplified the backlash, casting Bow as an emblem of moral decline. Despite her trailblazing career, Bow struggled with mental health in the transition to talking pictures. By the 1930s, she retired from the limelight, leaving behind a legacy of both groundbreaking stardom and the price of challenging societal norms. 6. Errol Flynn. Dashing and charismatic, actor Errol Flynn embodied swashbuckling masculinity on screen, but harbored a dark side. In the 1940s, he was tried for statutory rape after two teenage girls accused him of sexual misconduct. The case led to the infamous phrase, "in like Flynn," cementing his reputation as both a scandalous ladies' man and a figure of moral corruption. Flynn's trial became infamous not only for its salacious content, but for claims of jury tampering and judicial bias. Hollywood's deep ties to city officials allegedly influenced the acquittal, as some whispered that key jury members were bribed or pressured by studio representatives desperate to save Flynn's career. These suspicions festered even after the verdict, marking the case as a test of wealth and celebrity influence in Los Angeles. Despite the taint of corruption, Flynn's popularity remained oddly untarnished, with audiences continuing to adore him. Behind the scenes, however, his life descended into chaos. The scandals, combined with substance abuse and financial woes, consumed what remained of the person behind the hero. 5. Judy Garland. Judy Garland's effervescent talent masked a grim reality wrought by studio exploitation. MGM forced young Judy into unhealthy diets, addictive pep pills, and grueling schedules, leaving her mentally scarred, physically drained, and battling substance abuse. In maintaining the image of a wholesome star, Hollywood arguably became the antagonist in this tragic narrative. Garland's struggles began early, with studio executives micromanaging every aspect of her life, from her diet to her appearance. They fed her amphetamines to sustain her energy and sleeping pills to counteract the stimulant's effects, creating a lifelong addiction. Constant comparisons to other glamorous actresses further fueled her insecurities, driving an unstable relationship with her own self-image. Though Garland continued to dazzle the public with classics like The Wizard of Oz and A Star is Born, her personal life unraveled through failed marriages and financial woes. Her untimely death at 47 from a drug overdose serves as a stark reminder of the unrelenting toll of fame in Hollywood's golden age. 4. Howard Hughes. Beyond his aviation and filmmaking achievements, Hughes's erratic behavior and paranoia became legendary. Often accused of exploiting young actresses, some underaged, under the pretense of grooming them for stardom, Hughes's powerful position and compulsive behavior in Hollywood earned him a reputation for manipulation that scarred many aspiring stars. At the height of his stardom, Hughes displayed a toxic obsession with controlling young women's careers, often isolating them from their support systems. Aspiring starlets like Faith Domergue, who was only 15 when he pursued her, described being micromanaged and emotionally manipulated. Over time, Hughes's extreme paranoia led him into isolation, sealing himself off in darkened rooms surrounded by obsessive security measures. Despite his creativity as a filmmaker and innovations as an aviator, Hughes's legacy remains tarnished by accounts of his domineering relationships and mental unraveling. His increasingly erratic behavior turned him into a recluse, a tragic descent for a man who once epitomized American ambition. 3. Mae West. Known for her double entendres and risque personas, Mae West constantly battled censors who deemed her roles immoral. But beyond her controversial movie dialogues, West's private life attracted whispers of intrigue involving rumored unconventional relationships and questionable business dealings that added fuel to her already rebellious image. West's unapologetic approach to her career often clashed with Hollywood's rigid moral codes. Arrested in 1926 for her scandalous Broadway play Intimacy, she used the notoriety to propel her fame. Upon transitioning to film, her adult situation liberated on-screen persona faced constant backlash from the Hays Code enforcers, who sought to mute her trademark wit. Still, West refused to compromise, making censorship battles part of her brand. While rumors of her unconventional relationships and associations with industry outsiders swirled for decades, though West rarely addressed speculation. Even into her 70s, she embraced her provocative image, ensuring her legacy as a trailblazer who empowered women to own their desires in an era of strict social norms. 2. William Desmond Taylor. The murder of filmmaker William Desmond Taylor in 1922 became one of Hollywood's most enduring mysteries. Taylor's relationships with numerous actresses, drug dealings associated with starlet Mabel Normand, and other lurid details made his assassination a scandal riddled with conspiracy, implicating many big-name celebrities. Adding further intrigue to the case, whispers of corruption surrounded the botched investigation. Reports allege that influential Hollywood studios worked behind the scenes to suppress evidence, wary of exposing stars embroiled in scandals that could harm box office revenues. Witness testimonies reportedly vanished, and detectives on the case were accused of being bribed to steer investigations away from powerful suspects like Mary Miles Minter's mother, Charlotte Shelby. Though the web of Hollywood politics muddied the waters, no charges were filed. William Desmond Taylor's unsolved murder became an enduring symbol of early Hollywood as a glittering facade hiding a cesspool of unchecked power, jealousy, and secrets. 1. Bela Lugosi. While Bela Lugosi terrified audiences as Count Dracula, financial ruin and drug addiction told a tragic behind-the-scenes tale. Lugosi's descent into poverty made him engage in rumors of morally questionable ventures, tarnishing his once glorious image. His love for the macabre became more than just a character trait, it was his haunted identity. A once celebrated icon, Lugosi became typecast in horror roles while others diversified. His inability to escape his Dracula persona confined him to low-budget projects, even as his financial troubles mounted. Battling sciatica, Lugosi developed a morphine and methadone addiction, further damaging his public image. Desperate for income, he often appeared in campy films, such as Ed Wood's notorious Plan 9 from Outer Space. Though some claim Lugosi dabbled in occult circles, these rumors likely stemmed from his horror persona rather than reality. Tragically, his struggles off-screen mirrored those of his ghoulish characters, with Lugosi dying nearly penniless in 1956. Despite his personal decline, his legacy as a founding horror icon remains undiminished. Hollywood's golden age was as tragic as it was glamorous, proving that fame often comes at a heavy price. But the story doesn't end here. Click on our next video to witness the stunning transformations of Hollywood's most beautiful actresses, then and now. Don't miss it.